Am I talking into the camera or am I like not looking into the camera? Oh man, maybe I do need Cody in here. Satan really tried to use this against us, and it was working. Hi, my name's Grace, and this is my story. Our first loss in 2020 probably hit me the hardest. I felt like I was really naive and truly just didn't see it coming. Miscarriage is not talked about enough, and I felt super alone in my heartbreak. But I know now just how many women are going through the same pain that I went through. I've been able to share my story, and other women have come forward to me with their story, and that definitely helped, but it never took the pain away from my own heartbreak. And then we got pregnant for the second time, and I was excited, but in the back of my mind, I still had that fear of loss. And then those fears came true whenever I heard, again, there's no heartbeat. Satan really tried to use this against us, and it was working. Cody and I were both hurting, and we didn't know how to comfort each other. And we didn't know why we had to go through this. We weren't getting any real medical answers as to why this was happening. And before we even realized it, our marriage was failing, and we were just struggling. We felt like we were hitting rock bottom. And isn't it funny how God works? Because that's when, at this same time, Caleb and Leanne had asked us to join their life group. And we definitely didn't want to go, but we said yes anyway. And also at this same time, we found out that I was pregnant for the third time. This time we had our new life group praying with us, praying for us. Cody and I were able to pray together, believe it or not, for the first time in our entire relationship on a Wednesday night altar call. Cody had rededicated his life to the Lord, but I wasn't there yet. And then we lost that one too. And then a couple months later, another one. And at this point, I feel like I was just numb to the pain. I honestly just expected it now, and I was feeling pretty hopeless. But God was still working on my heart, and I know He was working on Cody's heart. And I remember at the first celebration Sunday of 2023, Jonathan was encouraging someone to come get baptized. And I was thinking, maybe this is for me. And then he mentioned that it was a man that God had placed on his heart. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a man. And then that it was a fisherman. I'm like, yep, definitely not me. So I went to the bathroom, not even thinking that it could be Cody. And by the time that I got back, Cody was off the stage and he was ready to be baptized. And I just remember feeling chills all through my body. I'm shaking. I'm so proud of him. And I was so excited about what this was going to do for him, for our marriage. But I still wasn't there yet. I was still letting pride keep me from taking that step. And I also was feeling a little frustrated because I, for some reason, always felt like I would be the one to get myself together and get right with the Lord and do that first, and then Cody would follow me. And I realize now that I needed to see him be a leader for our family and step out and be the encouragement that I needed to make that step myself. And it wasn't immediate. It still took me a few months. And I was finally able to lay it all down. My pride, my shame, sin, regret, everything, surrender it to the Lord. And I was baptized at the next celebration Sunday. And I truly feel like those steps that we both took were the key to unlocking the miracles that we were about to receive. I didn't know it yet. Not long after all of that, Kayla told me about a dream that she had. And in that dream, I was pregnant. And I was able to share with her that we had just met with a surgeon who was able to finally tell us and figure out why I was unable to carry a baby to term. And he was able to perform a surgery that would be able to fix it. After I had those couple of surgeries and was cleared to start trying again, I was super hopeful, but I was also scared. Of course, those fears and pain came back, and I felt like I wasn't ready, even though I had this new hope and I knew that we were on the right track and this was for us. And it was at 2023 Worthy Conference that there was a word for infertility, and there was a word specifically for someone who felt like they had their answers, they had everything fixed, but they didn't have their baby yet. And I knew that was for me. And I went and got prayed over, and I felt the confirmation and the peace that I needed in order to start trying again. And then a couple of months later, in December, there was another word on a Sunday morning for infertility again. And I felt like that was for me as well. It was actually a day that we'd been trying, and that day I would either have been pregnant or start my next cycle. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm pregnant and this is it. And we got prayed over, and we hadn't even left the parking lot, and I had started my period. And I was bummed. I was like, okay, well, I guess this wasn't it. I was a little discouraged, but little did I know that that was the first day of the cycle that I would conceive. And I've carried this baby for 35 weeks now. And I'm due on the weekend of 2024 Worthy. And I just think that's so special. And what a testimony to our journey and our story and how perfect God's timing really is. Of course, it was still scary in the beginning. I had those thoughts. I really didn't know anything different from all of my other pregnancies, but being able to be in a life group, be in a church that has prayed for us, prayed with us, I felt overwhelming peace and confirmation knowing that this miracle truly is for us. And I guess that's it. I don't know what else to say.